So what's going on, guys? Mr. Dalek JD here, and what I have for you is one of the most important videos in terms of the zombie storyline to come out, and this is from Black Ops 3 Zombies. This is to do with the giant bonus map, the DeReese remake. We're going to be going through a ton of information which is going to absolutely blow your minds and creates a whole new story within what we know so far for Black Ops 3 Zombies. So make sure you sit down and get comfortable, smash that like button if this video just blew your mind, and let's jump into this. So at the Comic-Con reveal yesterday, they showed off Shadows of Evil, but they also showed off the Giant. We saw the trailer on YouTube and is also on my channel for Shadows of Evil, but people at the Comic-Con reveal got to see an exclusive cutscene trailer for the Giant, which is DeReese. Now, what I want to point out to you guys that this is not just a simple DeReese remake. This is called the Giant because this is set before DeReese, and DeReese means the Giant in German. So this isn't just a spin on them, oh, we're just going to call it the Giant because that's what it's called in German. There's an actual reason behind this, because this map takes place before DeReese itself, and the reason DeReese is so messed up in World at War is because of the Giant. Well, technically, as before the reveal, DeReese was just messed up because of what Richtofen was doing with Maxis there at the facility. But now we have some brand new information which gives completely new light to DeReese, and I'm so excited to present you this. So now the Giant cutscene starts where Maxis and Samantha are locked in a teleporter by Richtofen in DeReese, and you can actually hear exactly when the cutscene starts by listening to an audio quote that's actually on DeReese, which we'll have at the end of the video to give you guys some more context on what Richtofen is doing. But he's essentially trying to get rid of Maxis and Samantha so he can gain total control of the zombies, as we know in the current zombie storyline. Now, something interesting, as soon as Maxis and Samantha get teleported by Richtofen, time stops. As you see that iconic clock in DeReese that's always kind of showing those 3 seconds, and it loops all the way around. In this, it stops and freezes on the clock, which means time has come to a complete standstill. Now, at this point in time, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo are teleported from Origins to this point of time on the Giant. Now, bear in mind, these are the Origin versions of the characters. These are not the standard version of the characters. These are the fresher, the younger, and less aware versions of the characters of Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo, and they're all pointing weapons towards Richtofen, who is the current Richtofen from World at War, the one with the Nazi outfit on. This is not the Origins version. Dempsey says to him, "This ain't funny, Doc." Nikolai says, "Turn around." Takeo says, "Show me." Richtofen says, in a very kind of scarily manner, "Do you know who I am?" Dempsey replies saying, "Yeah, we know. That's why you better do what we say." Now, this next stuff is all relating to kind of mind games that they would want to say to Richtofen that he's obviously going to ignore. Nikolai says, "A great evil approaches. There is a chain of events that must be set in motion." Takeo says, "You must awaken the test subjects." I'm assuming by test subjects he means the actual crew of characters, so they're kind of future versions of themselves that we have in World at War. Dempsey says, "Richtofen, whatever you're thinking of doing, don't do it." Nikolai says, "You do not want to meet what's on the other side of that door." And Takeo says, "You cannot begin to comprehend the greater evil you will unleash." Now, when I mentioned earlier that when Richtofen activates the machine, time stops, and it's repeating the same 3 seconds over and over. Now, the Origins characters are placed at DeReese, or the Giant, by Samantha, I'm assuming, from Origins, when she says at the end of the map, "My dad has a plan." Samantha sends them characters to DeReese, and they have a reason to be there, and that reason is changing the future. They know to do that, Richtofen needs to die at DeReese, and that way time can be reset. But to change the future, they need Richtofen to come back with a different mindset. That mindset being to not ignore the character's wishes and to not activate what's on the other side of that door. So what we see happen is evil Richtofen, this kind of the old one that we all know and love, activates the machine, and this teleporter turns round, and what we see is a figure come out who is actually Origins Richtofen. So we have a paradox going on here, where the older Richtofen is looking at the younger version of himself. And what we have next is absolutely shocking, which you guys may have heard of. Origins Richtofen kills the World at War Richtofen dead. He shoots him in the face with a pistol, and that is the end of the old Richtofen. Old Richtofen is now dead, and time is being rewritten, because now that this evil Richtofen has died, things that have happened from Doris all the way up until Moon won't happen anymore, because that version of Richtofen no longer exists. And with the older version of Richtofen no longer existing, all the events from Shino Numa up until Moon suddenly don't exist anymore, and they never happened. And it's almost like giving the crew a second chance in order to finally fix things and make things right. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means that the timeline from Doris starts again, but this time it's different to what we've already played, and like I said, it's like giving us a second chance. Now this is absolutely incredible for the zombie storyline, and really flips everything full circle on its head to what we already know, and it leaves so many more questions for us about Black Ops 3 Zombies. If you guys are still confused, then here's a very quick recap. So Samantha sent the Origins characters to Doris at a point where Richtofen just sent Maxis and Samantha into a teleporter in order to get rid of them and try and take over and become the ruler of the zombies that we know at the moment. The Origins crew come in at that exact moment in time, and they release a sort of trap in a way where the Origins Richtofen kills the old Richtofen blank dead. By killing the old Richtofen, that makes all the events that have happened so far in Zombies completely non-existent and rewrites the entire timeline. Now what happens in this is when old Richtofen gets killed, what will happen with the Origins Richtofen is that he'll go back to a time where he can't remember what just took place, but he knows that he now wants to change the plans that the original Richtofen wanted to do, because those ideas have been implanted into his memory pretty much during this weird kind of paradox that goes on with both Richtofens being in the exact same place. When the Origins characters are sent to the Giant, they knew from the start that Richtofen was going to open the door, and even though it makes you think they don't want him to open that door, they know that they actually did want him to, because the commands they give him are actually for his future, because when time resets, those will be the things that the Origins Richtofen will now remember. It's an absolutely crazy mind-fuckery explanation, but this is the best way for Treyarch, in my opinion anyway, to get the story back on track, because there's been so many kind of different points where things have been left with questions, and this in a way resets all the mess that Richtofen has made throughout the entire zombie storyline, and in a way tries to counteract everything that he's ever done. But what we don't know is what happens from this point onwards. If Richtofen is not going to be as crazy as he was and try and do all the crazy things he did, then what is going to happen to the zombies outbreak? What's going to happen to Maxis and Samantha? We aren't too sure. Treyarch could literally take this in any direction that they want to from this point, because they've literally just reset the entire timeline so things can start again. We can go to brand new locations, and it's just going to be very odd, as everything that's happened from World at War up until Black Ops 2 Zombies has now kind of been written off, because those things didn't happen now that the evil Richtofen has been killed. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section about all of this. It's absolutely mind-blowing, and it just shows that even though Doris is like 7 years old, there are still new things we're learning about it with each installment, and it shows that there's so much deepness into this map that we haven't already realized. Now, you guys will have definitely noticed throughout this video that there's been no actual trailer footage of the Giant used, but screenshots instead. I've realized that the Giant cutscene has been leaked. People filmed it during the Comic-Con reveal. Now, you're not allowed to upload that onto YouTube, and I don't know when exactly we're going to be getting a full HD quality version of that cutscene, so from now I will be using just the images. But if you do want to find that, I'm sure you can find it somewhere on YouTube, but I will update you guys when we get the full proper HD version of that trailer. But I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button, make sure to subscribe for more Black Ops 3 Zombie videos, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and I'll catch you on another video very, very soon.
Initiating test number 6. Subject is within test chamber. Activate power. Damn it, Edward! Did you set up the device correctly?
Yes, Doctor. As per your specifications.
If you had done it to my specifications, then it would have worked, wouldn't it? As usual, you're incompetent.
What? Do you hear that, Doctor?
Quiet, you fool! Test number 6 is a failure. but the experiment has caused some kind of electrical force energized within the chamber. Well, open the door!
Doctor, I don't think...
Open the door! Now!
Daddy, what are you doing with Flossie?
Damn it, Samantha, I told you never to come in here. Edward, get her out of here.
Yes, Doctor.
What's wrong with her? Daddy, what did you do?
Come
Flossie!
back here, Samantha! Stop her! Easy. Come here, Samantha. Good girl, Flossie. Gently, Samantha. That's not Flossie anymore. We must get out of here. What? Edward, what are you doing? Open the door! Edward, open this door now!
I'm scared.
Don't go. Stay by me, Samantha.
Goodbye, Dr. Maxis.